Hello and welcome to this video. Now in this video I'm going to show you how you can actually create your custom white label account essentially. Okay, so once you've upgraded, you will see to the left column, just scroll down below, you see the white label tab like so. Now once you select it, there's going to be three various tabs: users, branding, and SMTP settings, which are going to relate to an autoresponder. Okay, if you want to put something custom, especially with the autoresponder, but we're not going to do anything with that right now. And when it comes to users, when you actually have your account set up and you add users, this is where you would be doing that process. So we don't need to do any of that right now. We don't need to do any account creations here. We are simply going to go over to branding. Now in this tab, you're going to see it is already been filled out, which I've done myself, but I'm going to walk you through the steps as if you were to do this yourself. Now first of all, it's got something called the CNAME record that will go into your hosting account. Okay, with the hosting account, that's something that you would need to put in there under the CNAME record, which I'll walk you through. That's going to be business.clickSitesAI, and you can actually simply copy that and put notepad and come back to that. Secondly, let's leave the CNAME record for the time being. The next part is you've got the brand logo, so you can actually upload your own brand logo, or maybe you want to keep it plain. That's completely up to you. However, you would upload your logo here. Just simply select and you can upload it. And then you've got the second element here is the brand favicon. So if you see up here to the top section here, you can see ClickSitesAI. That is what we call the favicon. Now, as we go down, you want the brand name. Here we can see, as in this example, I've put Sales Letter Pro. And then I've got the domain that I'm going to use. Now, in terms of the domain name, which I'll explain in just a moment, here you can see I've put app.salesletterpro.com. Okay, I put app.salesletterpro.com, and you can see even with ClickSitesAI, it is kind of using the same methodology when it comes to the URL. Now, yes, you could put it directly to salesletterpro.com. However, if you're already using your website for something completely different, that's already set up a homepage, so on and so forth, you can use it in the same instance where it can have a separate extension here. Here you can see app.salesletterpro.com, so it'll direct it, instead of it directing to the main domain name, you can actually direct it to like a sub domain name like so. Next, you can see I've put an example support URL, and there's an example demo video here, just a YouTube video. Now if we now look at this main aspect here where it says the CNAME record, I'll simply copy this and I go over to my Namecheap account. Okay, so this is a hosting account essentially. Got a domain name there, and you can see right now, if you were to do this from scratch, you could simply select add new record, and you would scroll down, find CNAME, and like so you can see a brand new CNAME record has been created. Next, it's going to ask you for a host. Now if you're going to be using the domain name directly and sending people to the domain name itself, then you would simply put the @sign. Okay, however, because if my website is being used for something completely different and I kind of want to keep the main domain name free, and you create a separate page essentially, subdomain name under the main domain name, then I would put whatever I wanted to put. I could put anything in there, but for this example, similar to ClickSitesAI, it is app dot, okay, just app, sorry, not the dot, just app. And you can see the example here at the top that's already been created. Now next, I would go back, I would get this CNAME record. So this is needed, you must take this and it has to be used in the hosting account, because this is where it's basically going to point towards. And I would simply come here to the target and paste, and that's it. And I would tick, so you can see business.clicksites.ai, and I would accept. So I'm going to delete that because I don't need that right now, because I already have it set up. And the reason I've set it up already, because typically what can happen when you actually create it for the first instance, it can take up to 48 hours for it to propagate. Basically, it takes about up to 48 hours for it to actually be working, where you can actually start sending people to the domain. Now, what I can do once I've created it, and let's just say I've created this already, I get my domain name here. I'll simply open up a new tab, type in DNS checker, come over to this tool here, and I would go into the DNS check. Now I'd paste, and you can see this is the direct domain name that's been pasted in here, but I don't want to, I'm not sending users directly because obviously I have put app. So I'd come back and type in app.salesletterpro.com, and I would come to this drop down, check CNAME and search, and you can see this is now active. Okay, so once I've set that up, I would come here, save the white label settings, make sure this is all configured and set up, right? Then I can come and check everything's working. And if I went now and copy this URL, come to the page here, you can see app.salesletterpro. Once it goes, you can see now I have the page. Okay, so that's the logo I've used. I've used the same logo. If it's your own logo, you'll see that being updated. And look at the favicon. I just used a white square just as an example, so you can see once your own one is there. So that's it. Now this account is ready to go, so I can actually now start creating users in the account and sending them to app.salesletterpro.com, and it'll show them this login screen. Now next, what I would do, I would go to users like so, and you can see we've got 3 different fields. We've got name, let's put John Doe. Okay, John Doe. Next we've got the email. Let's just keep this as johndoe1@gmail.com, and we'll just go ahead and enter a specific password. So for this, let's just put something quick, select add, and just like that, you can see now it has now been added. Okay, so once it's been added, you will see the name is highlighted there. It is active. The email is clearly visible, so we can actually see the email being used. And in terms of the password, make sure you have that copy of the password where you can actually send across to the white label sub user. Now, for whatever reason, if there is an issue with access and you need to reset for the particular customer, okay, or change it for whatever reason, you can do by simply coming to the administrating dashboard here under users and select change password, and you can update. Okay, alongside that, when you do put a password in, for example, I know it's restricted, there is a little tab there behind this fella, this icon that is only going to be visible on my screen because I'm using something for saving passwords. So behind there's a little icon there, and you can actually unblur and blur the password just to make sure it's correct and keep a copy of it. Second, there is an icon or the ability you can actually disable the user, so you can confirm just like that, and then you are good to go. Okay, you can see now it's highlighted as disabled, or you can go ahead and enable user and confirm. Or if you want, once you've disabled them, whatever reason, if you want to clear that space, you can actually go ahead and delete that user. It looks a little bit daunting, but if you follow those steps, all you're simply doing is going into your advanced DNS section of your account, and you would create a CNAME record. If you want to send people directly to your main domain name, you can just keep it as the @ sign. But for this example, I want to send people to app.salesletterpro.com, so a subdomain name I've created there just keeps it more organized, and I can actually have a nice blog for my main domain name and keep it intact. And that's all you would have to do. And once you save it, that's it. You are now ready to go. Okay, so what I'll do is leave you to, if you need to pause it, go through the video, just follow those steps. Brand name, support URL, these things you don't have to put, but if you have one, then great, yeah, add it. But brand naming, things like your domain name are obviously important, and the favicon and brand logo, make sure you add all of those. And remember, when it comes to your hosting, if you have any issues, you can always contact live support. I always do this. It's a very smart way, and they're always more than happy to help with when it comes to live help. But hopefully those steps have been very clear. It is very, very simple to do, and once you do save the settings and you've got it all updated to reflect what you're seeing, similar to what I've got on the screen now, then you must wait up to 48 hours for it to be active and live. And in the meantime, if you want, you can check on the DNS checker. You can get anyone. Make sure that you've put the correct URL in there, you've put it on CNAME, and you conduct the search, and that's it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next video.